So this is a new video series. If people like it, I'll do more of it, and if people don't like it, then I won't do any more of it. So let me know in the comments whether you want me to continue this or not. But some of you may know that I like Adventure Time and Regular Show because they're pretty much to me like the Ren and Stimpy and Rocko's Modern Life and so forth of the current, 2010s decade, generation, whatever else you want to call it. And they're actually really good shows. They both have a lot of continuity in them. They're not just, like simple-minded shows. There's actually a lot of really neat stuff that goes on in them. A really big, expansive storyline. A lot of, like in-joke stuff like that. But what I think, would be something interesting to a lot of you to watch would be if I just did like a review series on an episode right after it came out, just my initial thoughts on it and so forth. And I've actually got permission from Cartoon Network to do this both for Regular Show and Adventure Time. And yeah, so that's about the summary of that. But again, let me know in the comments what you think. And so the episode that just aired was Rattleballs. It was... Oh, also I should say, too, these are obviously spoilers, So if you haven't seen the episode yourself, you should probably watch it yourself first, because I'm going to discuss what happens in the episode, so yeah. But Rattleballs, though, was about these robots that Bubblegum Princess made long ago. They didn't really say when, but just some specific period of time. And they were meant to be guards and so forth, and they ended up, like, being a lot more violent than she wanted, and so basically she had to scrap all of them. But one of them remained, and it ends up teaching Finn how to use his grass sword that he got in the previous episode, which again, the whole continuity thing. And like a few episodes they've been doing recently, it's been showing that we already knew there was like a darker side to the whole world that goes on and so forth, and especially to Princess Bubblegum, but it's been showing, more and more that while on the surface she's all, I love everybody, everything's cool and stuff like that, she's almost like apathetic in the way that she gets rid of people in some instances. It's really almost like chilling when you think about it that she's been alive for, almost thousands of years, and it's probably to the point now where when she kills things, she just doesn't even really care. It's like, you see, obviously she can recreate a lot of these like candy creations, but that's also a reason why she's probably apathetic, is she's just like, I can just recreate them. I don't really care. And so it's kind of interesting to see in a show like this, because on the surface, a lot of people will see this show and they'll see it as like, some like kiddie thing and, it's, adventures and fun, fantasy and whatever else. But there's a lot of darker elements that, the creators obviously put into the show. One, of course, the biggest one is that there was like nuclear war, and it basically wiped out 95% of life on Earth. And, obviously the nuclear frost and everything else like happened all over the planet and so forth, nuclear winter. But it's just interesting to see Finn be kind of like herp-derp about all this, where like he's obviously been around the princess enough now that he should see that she's really apathetic about stuff, and yet he's kind of just like, just doesn't really seem to pick up on it. And the whole thing going on too, where in this episode he seems to be extremely devoted to her, is probably a side effect of the whole Flame Princess thing. It's kind of like, well, now I don't have anybody to give my affection to, so now I'm going to like put it into the only other person that's a female that I'm close with, which is her, and he's basically like regressing back to that. And see, the fact you can even psychoanalyze the show like this shows that they actually put some time and thought into this, because, this isn't just random guesses. You can tell with a lot of previous episodes, they've intended stuff like this to be in the show, for people to see these kind of things in the show, And, again, that's why it reminds me of stuff like Rocko's Modern Life, because it was a show that the kids could watch and they can get it on like a basic level. Oh, Finn the hero goes and saves the day and silly stuff happens. But then the adults can watch it and see a lot of the more deeper stuff that they've put into the show and a lot of the more darker stuff. And I've always liked shows like that appeal to all audiences, because you have to be a really skilled writer to be able to make something that doesn't alienate the people that don't want something complex. It doesn't alienate the younger audience, and then also is appealing to the older audience. And a lot of cartoons in the 90s did this. They managed to do this successfully, but there was this gap of time from like 2000 to like late 2000s where there weren't really any cartoons like that for the most part. And now with Adventure Time and Regular Show and a few others, they've actually started to go back to that mentality of making it appealing for all audiences, which is something I really like. But also, you notice in this episode more continuity stuff that Root Beer Guy, who was in an earlier episode where he solved a crime that everybody thought he was just BSing on, actually managed to become the head of the police force now. And you can see that in this episode. So they do little small, throwbacks to that. And also, I wonder like the Rattleballs guy, I mean, if he's part like robot, if he's part machine, if she really could just make another one with her candy powers or whatever else she does, And I wonder if that would work because he is part robot. So I can't remember, my grasp of the continuity in this series is not as ultra strong as probably some other people's. So I don't know if she's ever made like a robot from scratch, like a candy robot or whatever else. Because I know she has those protectors, but again, it was kind of like shown that she was building those in a lab, so I don't really know what's going on there. So it may be more value to her that's why she did save him at the end of the episode, because she can't just easily remake him, and so there's more of like an attachment there, and then also he had the actual consciousness to disobey her orders, whereas the rest of them didn't, show that he was like something special. It was flawed, but it was a good flaw kind of thing. And Jake's completely absent from this episode. He's just, off doing something, whatever else. I'm kind of wondering when they're going to show what has happened of Flame Princess ever since they broke up and stuff like that. If, she's just like going nuts or whatever else, or if something else is going on there. It's like they tend to do that. Like they'll make a character really prominent and then not say anything about them for a while. And then all of a sudden, poof, like they're completely different in some way, shape, or form, or whatever. Like, I can't remember his name, but the magician that is voiced by Brian Eno, or whatever his name is, I'm pretty sure that's who voices him. The pink magician that was friends with Ice King, like they just pulled him out of nowhere, from like many episodes ago and just dropped him in there. So I think they'll do something like that for Flame Princess, but I don't know. But anyways, if you want more of these kind of episodes, let me know. And if you don't, then let me know that in the comments too. And that is about it. So yeah.